Hey guys, look at me, king of the world, and then I'm going for a swim. Welcome back guys, it is your boy Broncos Guru, and it's this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. Our first subject we're going to talk about this week is going to be commercial vessels. Typically we think of these as safer spots on the water handled by professionals, but what happens when you mix some non-professional people in? Well, incidents happen. But it's not always the end of the world, kind of like this guy here. Somehow he managed to save the camera. Not always will the equipment be saved though, especially when you become impatient on a ferry and decide you have to be the first one off. Sometimes you've just got to let that equipment go. Sometimes on commercial vessels though, things just go wrong. They can't be avoided for whatever reason. It can be equipment failure or malfunction, and things will just go bad when they're out on the water. But at least this crew was fortunate enough to only lose one piece of equipment. This next crew had a whole lot worse situation than that. The funny part about this one's another vessel that's right here recording this actually is here to try and save these guys and pull them off of this boat. When they pull up to the vessel, these guys don't even want to leave the boat. They're like, nah, we're not going back to see the boss about this one. He is not going to be happy. Our next subject we're going to talk about today is going to be not Haulover Inlet. That's right, we always see all these crazy scenes of boats coming out of Haulover Inlet, crashing through the waves, but you know what? There are tons of other inlets out there that are just as bad, if not worse, than Haulover, as can be seen in these clips here. These guys are heading out for a fishing tournament. Look at the way these guys are bracing themselves holding onto the boat. That means this is a typical scene for them. This is what they go through every single time they're going out fishing, because this crew right here is not even fazed by this. But I really thought this was bad until I saw the next boat come out for this fishing tournament. Look at the way these guys are hanging onto the boat as well. In other words, they're prepared for the same thing in a boat about half the size, and oh my gosh, no way in the world I want to go fishing that bad. This crew appears to have taken an absolute pounding from that first wave, but it looks like they may be stalled out or something because they're getting sideways in the surf, and this is not going to be good, and oh my gosh, somehow they hang on. This is definitely the point right here. If I get that motor started again, I'm turning around, but not this crew. They're bound and determined. They're getting out there and they're going fishing today, and they're going to barrel right into another wave, and this really is absolute insanity to watch. I can't tell if these guys are crazy or they're really literally just that determined to go. And our next vessel does something that's even a little more wild to me. These guys start coming out the inlet, and they either are pure genius or just absolutely nuts. These guys come barreling out sideways to the surf, so they go through the first wave and just throttle down sideways. But this right here is an easy way to capsize a boat. If this wave catches them, this boat's flipping over, but instead he just barrels right around the breakers and kind of makes it out easier than anybody else we saw. Our next subject we're going to talk about today is going to be trailering them vessels. This really is one of the most talked about subjects when you go onto boating and fishing forums. You'll always see these questions being asked. Will my Honda Odyssey tow my Gamefish 30? This is one of those questions that never makes a whole lot of sense to me. So you're going to go out and spend $200,000 on a boat, but then you're going to let your $5,000 2005 Honda Odyssey tow it. And then you'll always have that one guy in the forum who says, yeah, I bought a single Sea-Doo trailer and I needed a little more power. This is the only safe rig you can use to tow your vessel. Another question that I'll get asked quite often in boating forums is, what hitch are you using it and why are you using it? And of course there will always be that one guy who will come on there and say, whatever hitch gets me down to the lake, and I guess in this case he's not wrong. Oh, and sweet trailer tires. If you ever go into these forums, this is another one you're going to see. What tires are you using on your trailer? And man, does this one always turn into a heated discussion. If you think there's engine fanboys out there, wait until you get into a discussion on tires. And then there will always be that one guy who jumps on the forum and says, you know what, I just tow with my car. Forget this whole having a truck or needing a second tow vehicle thing, my car does it all. Oh, and the winter fun continues. A few weeks back, we ran across some people doing some silly things on kayaks and canoes, taking them down hills, down roads, it didn't matter, enjoying themselves in the wintertime when they couldn't get out on the water. I thought this was a rather strange thing, but you know what? It turns out I was wrong. Apparently, I'm late to the game, and people have been doing this for a long time. I mean, heck, somebody's even made this into a sport. Look at the carnage that ensues with this. This is absolutely wild to watch. We need more of this kind of stuff going on in our lives right now. Somebody should call ESPN and see if we can pick this up on the regular. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening on your waterways, be sure to hit me up on Facebook or Instagram, and you may see your stories over here. Just like Jose Reyes, Calumet IS, and Hobo Homie did this week. And if you haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on that subscribe button. If not, we're coming to steal your drain plug.